make sure that we were going into next year knowing as much as we could. If he's going to look like he did during training camp, like that's going to be a player for us. But he's got to show it in games. And this is an opportunity for him to come back and for us to see that. And we don't think that's just like, a shot in the dark. We think this guy's got some traits. And so we want to see that. And Jack and Noah are two guys that we've been high on. So this isn't like, we think we're bare at that position. And then we talk about, obviously, you get a fifth-round pick, and we've had some success in the fifth round, and we get a corner that we thought had a chance to be a player. And then, obviously there's money involved, too, that could add to another player. So I think that was our opportunity. Again, not downplaying a Hall of Fame player in terms of Zach Ertz, but that's why we made the move.
Go ahead, Dave, and then Bo Wolf.
Howie, this was kind of a long saga with Zach, and I think it's fair to say the relationship between him and the team was strained at some points during it. Does he leave here on good terms, and was that important to you?
Yeah, Dave, this isn't days of our lives, my man. Zach's somebody that we have a very, very close relationship with, and that doesn't mean, just like everybody in their personal lives, there aren't ups and downs, and there are moments when you don't see eye to eye, but this is a guy who is family to us. This is a guy that, I don't know how many other players since I've been here that, you talk to 2 days before a game and you talk about the opportunity and you kind of talk through it with them. And, Zach will be a friend for life. We'll be celebrating for life. This isn't like an obituary here. I said when we left, we're not saying goodbye. So there's no hard feelings at all. It's family, with us and Zach. I drafted Zach Ertz. I signed him a couple of times, and I still have a picture of us together with our family after we won the Super Bowl, and his game ball when he set the single season tight end record. Like this, there's no issues, none.
Go ahead, Bo and Jeff McLean.
I know it's not an obituary, Howie, but if we can go back to the beginning of his career, Zach has talked about some of the struggles that he had and sort of getting over those. From your vantage point, what was it like watching that, and when did you realize that he was, I guess, as special as he turned out to be?
Yeah, it's funny because, I'll never forget sitting in my office with about 8 people as we were getting ready for the second round and really deciding about between 2 players that we now have on the roster, and Zach and Slay. And Slay had just come off a medical procedure, and I remember, even though we had Selleck and Casey sitting there and saying, this guy's a 10-year player for us. This guy's Todd Heap, who obviously played at Stanford and Baltimore Ravens tight end, and this is an easy pick. And it may not be the best move for us right now this year in terms of helping the team, but this guy's going to help us for a long time. And I remember like that was yesterday, and we had a room, we had a talented room with Brent and James Casey, but we also had 2 incredible people in that room. James now a coach, and obviously you guys know about Selleck, and I think it was different for him to come in, as a high second round pick and not be the guy. He's always had tremendous confidence in his ability to do that, and he continued to work as hard. When I think about Zach, I think about last year when we came back from COVID, and it was the first day the players were allowed, and looking out my office window and him on the practice field running routes without a ball, and his work ethic, his passion for this game, it was contagious. And that was one of the things, just talking to Steve Keim and asking me what he's getting. You're getting that. And so I think he always had that work ethic. He always had this desire, this sponge to pick up more and to learn more. And I'm hopeful that these young players that, we're high on and have high expectations for picked up from him like he picked up from all the players he was around.
Go ahead, Jeff and Ed Kratz.
Howie, you have a couple more games here before the trade deadline. If things go south a little more, is that going to open it up the possibility that you'll be willing to sell more of your older players?
Yeah, I don't view us as being sellers. I view us as still having an opportunity in the next 11 games to show what kind of team we are. And I think this was more about the opportunity to really put the pieces of the puzzle together for this team at that position, and kind of moving forward. It's not to give up on the season by any way, shape, or form. I'm certainly not thinking about anything going south, Jeff, but we're thinking about the opportunity we have in front of us, starting with Vegas next week, and I know that'll be a huge travel game for our fans, and after we get through this weekend, we'll be excited for that opportunity.
Go ahead, Ed, and then Martin Frank.
Yeah, hi, Howie. Thanks for doing this. Just you talked about the discussions you had Tuesday night about the possibility of this. When did the trade get consummated? Was it after the game, or did Zach go into last night's game knowing that he was going to be traded?
Yeah, I think just based on the relationship with Zach, thought it was important that Zach was able to really go in last night with his eyes open and really enjoy each moment coming out there. He's a captain last night for that reason. So he knew, although we didn't call back Arizona until this morning, he knew this was going to happen. And I think that's what made it special. Dallas didn't play last night, so he had an opportunity to play a little bit more than he's been playing. Catching the touchdown pass, that was special to do that. And obviously you saw his emotion coming off the field. But I think just talking through it with Zach and understanding here you are and you get to experience this and embrace everything that comes with it. Not many people get an opportunity to do that. And so I think we agreed that was special for him. Hard, obviously, keeping it from the rest of the team. And it's probably a unique situation where you're kind of going to a game. And, I think someone asked me, what happens if something happens to him during the game? And I said, that's the chance we're willing to take, because it was special for him last night. It was special for him to come out on a national televised game, in front of our fans as a captain, be introduced. And I get kind of chills just thinking about it.
Go ahead, Martin.
Hey, Howie. You alluded to the fact earlier about Zach's impact on the younger tight ends. Do you think his impact was also just through his professionalism with the way he kind of went through everything that was going on since the offseason? And how do you think that kind of impacted those younger guys seeing that?
Yeah, and I wouldn't limit it to the tight end group. Obviously we got a young group of skill position guys, and really a lot of young players on offense. And I think they see how he works every day, how he takes care of his body, how important it is to him. And so that's a huge lesson. And I think that's worth its weight in gold for this team, to have that. And I know Dallas and our tight ends are appreciative of it, but I also think our receivers, our backs, the players on our team. And, I spent some time this morning calling some players on our team to give them a heads up and talk about it. And this is a special guy, and proud to have had him here for as long as we did. And, I know the future is going to continue to be bright for him and his family.
We have time for one more, so we'll end it here with Jeff Mosher.
Hey, Howie, you had talked about getting the chance now to evaluate Dallas Goedert as a number one tight end here. Do you need a certain number of time or games before you feel comfortable? Because I know he has talked already about you guys having contract discussions. So do you need to see more before you can finalize those discussions, or do you think you know what you have?
Yeah, I think we know what we have in Dallas Goedert. Obviously when we talk about Zach and how good of a player he is and how great of a player really he's been, to do this, you have to have a confidence level in the guys behind him. And so we have expectations of Dallas. That was kind of the conversation this morning about what we expect from him. We've seen it, but he's never really had the opportunity to go out there and just be the guy and play 80%. Zach mentioned to me that, he was playing 80% of the plays in the past couple of years. He wasn't really splitting time. And so they both have been splitting time, and I'm not sure either of them was able to get into the rhythm that they need because of the kind of players they are when they're splitting time. So we have high expectations. This isn't something like, we have to see a certain number of things before we know. I think we know in Dallas who he is, but at the same time, he's got to take that, and he's got to take that baton and run with it.
Thank you for your time, Howie.
Thanks, Allie.